everyone, welcome back. Today I'd like to talk to you about something that came up in a recent workshop that I got to take with Ariadna Navera and Fernando Sanchez. They were here in LA, and a lot of the work that we were doing in their classes had to do with this very special topic. This is something that gets mentioned very early on when people learn how to dance tango, especially for followers, and that is what it means to really allow your free leg to be free. So, and what I mean by that is a lot of times you'll hear the instruction that when you transition to your new axis, the leg that you come off of needs to be relaxed enough so that when you're doing your pivots, there's no tension in the hip. And a lot of the pivoting that we do in tango, and a lot of the balance that we have to have, relies on this idea of the free leg being really free. So what does it mean to actually have the free leg free? Conceptually, I think everybody understands that, but for me, I'm always curious, how do we know it in our body? How do we feel it? We feel the effects of it. So whenever my leg is not free, usually that causes imbalance, or my technique is not as refined. But how do I know for sure that my leg is free? And so I've been thinking about this for a couple of weeks since the workshop, and I want to give you a little experiment that you can do at home to explore this idea on your own. And so what you have to have is a strap. So once again, I'm kind of using a strap that's used for boxing. So if you have a yoga strap or anything that you can tie to something heavy. So here I have it around the leg of the couch, whatever you can do to tie it around something that's not going to move. And then I have a chair just to help me with balance. And what you can do is feed one of your feet through the strap a couple of times so that it holds on, and kind of find a place where you can hang off the strap. So here I'm kind of looking for a place where I feel that I'm completely stretched away from the couch. So I feel a stretch of my leg with the strap. And you'll notice here I'm kind of hanging, so if the strap was not holding me there, I would actually fall. And so what you're looking for here is a sensation that the leg is really being pulled out of the hip. And so it kind of takes a little while to find it. Ultimately, what you should feel is that you can be kind of hanging off of it. And here, this is where you can kind of explore it. The more you let go of the leg, the more you kind of go in the direction of your standing leg. But if you bring your hand behind you and put it at the top of the glute, so kind of like a little bit below your lower back, so if, from the back, it'd be somewhere around here. This muscle here, this is the muscle that really I feel is responsible for letting the hip become free. So you have your hand there, and then all you do once you kind of get the hang of it and you're really releasing here is just squeeze that muscle. Begin to squeeze that muscle, and you'll notice that it kind of feeds your whole body over to this side. So if I squeeze just that muscle alone, I can lift myself up out of this axis and send my energy there. So you want to feel that you're able to transition your axis just by squeezing that muscle. So I squeeze that top of the glute and it pulls me over to the other side. So I'm going to show you from the back side. So if you do it, I'll do it on the other side. So here I find a place where I can hang off the strap. Use a chair, and here you'll notice my hips are level. So I'm slightly shifted to the outside of my foot, but my hips are pretty much staying on the same level. And then I bring my hand here, this right now when I'm first starting should be very relaxed. And then once I kind of begin to work with this, I just focus on engaging this muscle at the top of my glutes. And then I'll feel that it pulls me to the side. So try it a couple times this way, and then try it from the idea that you're going to take a side step. And so if you take a side step, you'll notice that at this point here, when I'm extending, but I'm still engaged here, then I'm not going to fully release into that original position. I have to actually release this muscle in order to fully hang. So here I go over to the side more. So again, kind of step to the side, and here I feel that in order for me to go any further to the side, all I have to do is release here, so this muscle can release, and then I can pull myself back up. So what I feel when I do this gives me some information of how I'm actually transitioning the weight from one side to the other. And so when I take a side step, I feel that the muscles of the hip help send me to my next axis, but then once I land, so here at this moment, in order for me to actually fully arrive on this axis, then this is where these muscles here have to relax. If they don't relax, so I go to the side, I kind of feel that this hip is hiking up a little bit because this muscle is holding it. If I begin to pivot and this alignment with this hip being slightly elevated, I'm going to lose balance because the whole structure kind of, the axis is slightly split. I still have a little bit of weight on this leg. In order for me to transition fully, I have to let go of this muscle here. And so with the strap, what the strap allows you to do is just kind of feel the sensation, feel the difference between what it means in the body when you're hanging and you engage that muscle, and what that does. You'll feel it kind of hikes your hip up a little bit, it transitions your weight to the other side. And then once I release, then your hips can really sink and you'll feel that full arrival to the new axis. What you're looking for in this exercise is not necessarily doing anything specific in terms of learning a particular move. What you're going for is just to get a sensation, the difference between what does it mean for these muscles to be engaged and what that does to your movement, and then what does it mean for them to let go. And there's always a rhythm. Tango is always kind of going with this flow of contracting and expanding. So these muscles will be working when they send your axis to the new foot, and then they have to relax in order for your axis to fully ground into the new leg. So try it out, and I think once you feel the difference, you'll be able to notice those differences once you're dancing. And so what I sometimes do is if I discover something new through an exercise, I'll kind of register how it feels in my body. I'll register maybe some sort of imagery that helps me. Maybe I'll feel like a certain color or a certain type of release. And I'll just kind of keep that in the back of my mind. And when I'm dancing, I'll have the intention of recreating that sensation. And the body kind of knows that at that point. The body knows how to get back to that. So you don't have to like think, oh, release the hip, release the hip. Just have the intention of like, oh, I want to be free. I want to be free in that hip. I want to feel the way it felt when the strap was pulling and I was feeling the release in the hip. And that will help in the dancing to recreate that sensation. So try it out. Let me know what other questions you have, and I'll see you next week. Bye.